Don't forget to subscribe to my channel, and while you're at it, click the bell to be notified of future videos. This block is called Framed Triangles. It finishes at 12 inches. It's another one of those mindless quilts, and you can use a lot of scraps. Here's the diagram. We have 3-inch finished half square triangles and then little 1-inch finished frames on two sides of the half square triangles. And these triangles are all placed in the same position with the dark in the upper left and the light in the lower right. Here is what 4 blocks look like, block to block. We have 3 patches. The first is a 1-inch by 4-inch finished rectangle. We cut 4.5-inch by 1.5-inch rectangles. We'll need 9 assorted dark patches. There are no AccuQuilt dies that will cut this shape. Patch B is a 1-inch by 3-inch finished rectangle. We cut 3.5-inch by 1.5-inch rectangles, and we'll need 9 assorted dark patches for this too. And there are no AccuQuilt dies you can use to cut this. For both of these, you could probably use your 1.5-inch strip cutter and then cut them down. If you have a 4.5-inch square or a 3.5-inch square, you can cut those down. Patch C is a 3-inch finished half square triangle. We cut 3 7/8-inch squares, cut them in half once on the diagonal, and get 2 patches. We'll need 9 assorted light patches, and I'm using low volume prints, and 9 assorted medium patches. You want the medium patches to be closer to the light side. You want a good contrast between the dark and the medium. The dark of the frame and the medium of the half square triangle. But really anything goes, whatever you like. Here are the AccuQuilt dies that will cut this patch. And if you want to make half square triangles 2 at a time, you'll cut the squares this size and you won't subcut them. This is an odd number. It's 9 half square triangles. So you'll probably have to make 10 and then just have one for your scrap bin. Here are all my scraps for this quilt. This is patch A, the longer frame. This is patch B, the shorter frame. Now I got all of these half square triangles. These are 3-inch finished half square triangles. I got all these from my scrap bin. So there's a light and a dark, and these are more medium kind of colors. But I only have 7 of them, so I'll have to make 2 more. And with those, I'm going to make the half square triangles 2 at a time. So this will give me 4 more, and I'll have another one to put in the scrap bin. The first thing we'll do for step 1 is to make the rest of the half square triangles. If you're not familiar with the 2 at a time method to make half square triangles, that short tutorial is coming up. On the back side of the light fabric, we're going to draw a diagonal line, put the fabrics together, right sides together, and we're going to stitch on either side of the diagonal line. Here is the diagonal line drawn, and then the stitching on both sides. Now we cut this in half along the diagonal line. Then we have our 2 half square triangles. Press the seams open and cut off the nubs. Now all the triangles are made. I have 9 now, and then 2 for the scrap bin. For step 2, we're going to take a B patch and sew it to the top of each half square triangle like this. Be sure you have the dark side of the half square triangle to the upper left like this. And do that for all of your 9 half square triangles. Take your half square triangle and put your B patch on top like this, flip it over, stitch a scant 1/4 of an inch and press the seams open. Then you'll have this. And the seams are pressed open. Next you'll take an A unit and stitch it to the side like this. Press the seams open. And after you've done that, you'll have this. Seams are pressed open. And you want 9 of these, then we can put the block together. All of our 9 units are finished. We'll just lay them out on the proppet board, and we're going to put 3 across and 3 down. First, I always just throw them on there and then arrange them how I like them later, so you can see what all is here. Okay, so I'm gonna switch one of these. All right, so I think I'm happy with this. We're going to sew the top units into a row, the middle units and the bottom units, and press your seams open, then sew the rows together. When you're stitching these together, you'll want to put this piece on top, like this. Then as you're stitching, you can see this point on the half square triangle, and you want to stitch just above that point so you won't cut your points off. Here's the finished block, and you don't have to put it this way. Really, all 4 different ways you can place this block. So whichever way you like. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel, and while you're at it, click the bell to be notified of future videos.